Okay, so we're going to continue our painting of Black Rose Wars, this time with Howard. He's the Void Mage from the Sator box expansion, and he's going to be good. He should be relatively easy to paint. I think, you know, we've got the Apothecary White showing, Black Templar, a bit of wood, a bit of metal, and the bits you can't see, the lower half. Not very complex miniature. But the Void Magic's quite cool, and I really like this miniature. It's like the Cultist, which is really quite cool, and certain things like the face coming out of the book, for example, the detail of the miniature, his kind of hood. It's got the detail coming through. You could argue even more so than the card art. He's got this wheel on the back, and then he's on a quite unique base, which is quite good actually for painting. Where there's this like stone coming out, and he's got his sacrificial dagger as well, of course. So let's put that aside. So as with all of my contrast paintings, we start from light tones to the darker tones, so we can go over them. And we're going to start with Apothecary White. As I always say, it's a fantastic contrast paint, a kind of must in the collection, definitely. And there's a few miniatures which I've primed, which I'm really keen to kind of use this on. So don't be afraid to lather this on. And as I've said in previous videos, it does dry lighter. So don't worry about the fact it looks really grey. It will dry lighter. And when you get the other colours on as well, things will look so much better. So we continue bringing it on, and we just plaster this Apothecary White on. Again, you can go over Apothecary White as well, so it's a great one to start with. But giving it that contrast effect of white, so hard to achieve with traditional paints, and this just is a breeze. It's so good. It just eliminates all that problems. Again, as I said, I'm not too fussed about getting it over other parts of the miniature. Making sure I'm getting the bits in between the wheel here. And what I might do is do all of that before I move on. And keep going on. And there we go. I see he's holding his cultist book, as the best be told us. Oh, a bit too much paint there. You can always see the effect of the contrast already. Looking really nice. Pretty much an albino in terms of the colouring of this character. And you can hear the nursery rhymes going on next door. The subtle tones of Old MacDonald. There is a bit of a modelling problem here, but again, I haven't bothered with the green stuff or anything like that. But you've got this mould line all the way down there. Again, I'm not too fussed. Okay, and that is the skin tone now done. And then we'll move on to the next tone. Okay, so I think this sash, this kind of this cloak coming down here, this part here, as well as this part here, probably. Yeah, this part here. I'm going to do in, I think I'm going to do it in red, really vibrant, bold red. Be quite keen on that. But first of all, let's do his trousers. So for his trousers, I'm going to use AGGAROS Dunes. I just launched, just before recording this, I launched a Super Fancy Brawl League to go ahead. So I'm hoping we get enough players for that to run it properly. It's just such a fantastic game, and I'm really keen to get some more games in. So let's have something a bit more organised. And I thought, yeah, I'm happy to run a league. And we'll see how that goes, but keep in tune for that as well. I will be live streaming, or certainly recording, probably not live streaming because I don't think my computer can handle it, but I'll certainly be recording my games, and I'm sure other people will be doing the same as well, so that'll be plenty to see, which will be cool. Being careful of the just careful to just make sure I'm hitting the trousers here. Certainly not the skin, the bit I've just done. Okay. And again, I know I say this, I think I've said this every single one of the videos, and there's been a few of them now, that you just see the effects immediately, the result immediately. It's so satisfying, especially with a really nicely detailed miniature like these Ludus Magnus games. Studio, sorry, miniatures. They got some fantastic detail on them. And how often do you get to see painting and nursery? I don't know if you can hear the nursery rhymes, actually, to be fair. So I probably won't go on about those. The trousers, I think I might... I think I'm going to do this. Oops, just trying to, I'm going to do this trousers. There we go. Probably just do that as well. There we go. Okay, so the trousers done. And as I was painting the trousers, you see that the skin tone's starting to dry now, which is very cool. So you can see there the awesomeness that is Apothecary White. I'm just going straight to the head, actually. Well, I might put a bit of skeleton horde. No, I'm actually going to go Apothecary White. I should have done this before for the pages of the book. And what I'm going to do is use a wash to give it an aged look. And maybe do something with this face that's coming out of the page as well. as we continue. Nice. Okay. So let's go and do the hood. I know that's going against my normal rules of doing all the light colours first, but I think it makes sense in terms of waiting for the other stuff to dry. So we want black Templar for this. Okay, so black Templar. Chuck it on the hood. And I'm not worried about the stitching, I'm going to do that later. I'm going to go in with some Wraithbone wet base to sort that out. And again, I talked about Apothecary White being a kind of essential. I think this Black Templar is also an essential part to your contrast set. There we go. So that's the hood done. Actually, before I put the, sorry, I'm going to bring the black back. And then we're going to go to the handle here. Just the handle itself. Oops. Okay, so there's the handle done. It's looking pretty good. Okay, how's the skin tone coming along on the trousers? Not too bad, not too bad. Next, I think I'll do the book itself. So for the book itself, the cover of the book, if you like, I'm going to go snakebite leather. See if I can that's nice. And finally, chuck it onto this bit here. I think I've just got it on his hand there a little bit. Try to get in there without not causing too much fuss, and then just use my finger actually. Just try and get some of that thumb mistake out. Let's see if we can just use a bit of water. I don't think it's that bad. I was going with the white there anyway. It's not the end of the world. Okay. So that's the book. The book done. This is going to be, it looks like the art, it's got like a metal part going around the top. And then these are wood. I'm going to use wildwood on the actual thing itself. So let's go on to that next. So wildwood is next. And to be honest, what I'm going to do is just make sure I paint the entire wheel, even the metal bits that are going to be metal, so that I can just go over with the lead belcher after. Oh, try not to get the ropes too much. A bit of discolouring in the ropes isn't going to be a bit of a massive problem. And to be honest, try and get to the back of some of these parts of the miniature. I'm going to have to do that anyway. What an awesome miniature though, eh? And again, I'm not having... These were really... I scrubbed them for quite a while using the hot soapy water. And then I've just primed them once and it seems to be working fine. So fingers crossed I won't get the same problems that I had before. You just got to spend a fair amount of time making sure that you've got rid of any residue whatsoever. Being careful on the back here, try not to get it on the skin. Get in there now. Okay. We keep going. Oops. Actually, I'm gonna just a little bit take off the. As I say, I don't mind a slight difference in the ropes being slightly. I might go over them with a bit of white anyway, just to make sure. Wraithbone anyway, just to pick up on some of those errors, and then just get in there a little bit. Okay, we're getting there. go. And look, that's such a nice brown. Love that brown. That looks good. Awesome. It's the brown of the wheel finished. Right, let's move on to the sash, which I'm going to be doing nice and bright with Blood Angels Red, my go-to red, as it were. And this should give us a, I'm just checking, yeah, this should give us a really nice vibrant red to go with the satanic rituals of the void. Oh, by the way, I've played some of the campaign for this Black Rose Wars, and it is awesome. I highly recommend it. You need to make sure that everyone who's playing it knows how to play the game. That's the only thing I would say. It does give a, so I think, is there 6 or 7, I believe, 6 or 7 different scenarios that you go through. And it does give the person who basically comes last in the previous one a lot of bonuses for the next one. But still, you know, if they haven't played it much, players, and they're quite new to the game, they're going to really struggle to compete. So yeah, if you've got family that at the moment that you can play with, then brilliant. I'd highly recommend it. Get the campaign. You can find it in the Sator box expansion in the rule set there. It's at the back of the book. Really cool. And actually, we decided that some of the rules we'll use as modular rules in the actual game because they're that good. So highly recommend giving that a go and trying it out if you haven't done so already. I think I might go to a smaller brush for this detailed part. But I love the vibrancy of contrast paints, and no matter what the miniature I'm painting, it just looks so good when it's nice and vibrant, you know, with these reds and the blues, yellows, whatever you want really. And the browns even look pretty vibrant. Okay, so let's go to the smaller brush. So I should probably mention going with the normal size 0 brush normally. This is a size 000 about, so it's a pretty, it's a fine detail brush. Just gives you that little bit more control, especially around the skin area that I don't want to mess up. How's that? Yeah, that looks like it's more of it. There we go. So there's the that bit down there. So that's the cloth done in the red, nice vibrant red there. And it's really starting to come along now, which is great. So I think we might as well go straight on to all the rope work next. And for that, I'm just going to go in with a nice skeleton horde. I think the skeleton horde gives a really nice kind of, I don't know, a yucky off brown colour. I'm going back to, going straight back to the size 0 brush. So, skeleton hordes next. And we're going for the rope work. Being relatively careful here with the skin tone yet again. But down near the wood, that's going to make no difference, so don't worry too much about that part. And the AGGAROS dunes as well, not massively an issue if you get over parts of those as well. Then we keep going with these bits. Just really trying to get the rope done now. Like so. And again, we won't have to do anything other than this. The whole point contrast paints really is for that one coat for completion. That's what you're aiming for. Save time, nice clean finishes, and then great looking miniatures. Try and get that in there a minute. So that's the plan with all of these. Oops, I've gone a little bit over. Let me have a look. Nah, that's acceptable. Is that rope or what is that? Ah, that's definitely gone over. Is that rope or was that a vein or something? What's that? Oh, that's his hood. That's his hood there. So we need to make sure we get that corrected with some black Templar. Do that in a bit. Okay, cool. Let's keep this rope working. Again, I'm not really that bit I am, but this bit, just gonna let me have a bit of brown in there. It wasn't quite dry, but again, I don't think that's a problem. It'll just make the rope look slightly different, especially if I go back in with some more of the AGGAROS dunes. Okay, nice. Making sure I've got all the rope. I think I have. I'm just gonna put it down there a minute just to hit just a bit of white I just noticed on that. Right, that's looking cool. I'm pleased with that. That's looking fine. So now the rope work's done. It's really coming along now. That's looking great. All right. Right, okay. Yeah, I'm definitely going to go in with white for that. Let's do that black. No, because that's still drying. I don't really want that seeping through at the moment. Done all that. To be honest, I think we've just got metalwork to do now. So yeah, let's go on to the black. We're going back with black Templar. And the main reason why is because I want to get the rest of that mask done. Which I didn't realise was the mask. There we go. Actually, I'm just going to put a bit of black down there. There we go. In fact, I think this is all black. This is all part of the mask, I think, or most of it. That's better. Okay, better. Right, let's get on with that metalwork. And we can do corrections after that. So, metalwork. We need to start with some lead belcher. We're doing our classic lead belcher and then contrast over the top. Again, it doesn't have to be Citadel lead belcher. Any silver acrylic paint will do the trick. This is, well, that won't help it with it. That will not help it at all. Let me just try and get that metal firm in it. The rebind these pots. I could do with some tweezers or something. No, I can't get that. Never mind. Just got paint all over my fingers, and you get dry paint on the inside, and it just dries up, and then it stops. And you basically, it stops it from closing properly, and then it doesn't tend to dry the paint out, to be fair. But it is just quite annoying. So sorry about that. I like to show mistakes on this channel. So, getting all that. Let's get a bit of water onto this paint. I've got way too much metal on that side. And we are hitting this dagger, this sacrificial dagger. Although, yeah, I think it's very culty. Is void magic cult magic? I don't think so. Okay, and that's the only metalwork on him, I think. Well, actually, there's a bit of buckle work, isn't there? Let's do that while we've got the paint out. So go to my smaller brush. Just a tiny bit of buckle work there as well. Okay. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm not even going to bother with the metalwork of the wheel. I like the wheel the way it is, just in brown. I think it'll ruin it if I... I'll just take a lot of time, which I don't think is necessary. I think the WYLDWOOD does such a great job of showing the wheel that it's fine as it is. Right, should we do some touch up? So we need the base wraithbone. Small brush. Tiny bit of water. Let this base paint flow. I'm going to start with this thumb here. That's better. In fact, we don't even need to go with Apothecary White there, that'll be fine. What else needed changing? Oh yeah, we're going to do these. Yeah, just going to hit some white on some of the rope work to make it just stand out a little bit more. And we'll go back over that with the AGGAROS. No, not the AGGAROS, the Skeleton Horde. Cool. Oh, I'm just gonna smarten up this bit on the base as well, because when I go over, I'm gonna use contrast paints for that, and the red will really shine through. It's such a high pigment paint, so just make that a little bit cleaner. Other than that, I think we're good. So just to hit that bit there, just where I got a little bit of the Skeleton Horde on. Right, okay. That's the touch-up done. That's my miniature flown off the table, nearly. So Howard's looking pretty good. Let's do the book. So as I said before, I'm going to use a shade, a Citadel shade, VEIKLAND Flesh Shade. And this will just weather that book a bit. I think it needs to look a lot more weathered. I don't want to shaking this wash. You don't need to really shake the washes. So I'm so used to the I'm literally just gonna. Ooh, that's way too much. I'm gonna put a little bit on it. Just push that around the book itself. Make sure I go into the corners. Nice. So I'll give the book a little bit more of a weathered look, which is kind of what I'm after with. This is an old book, obviously. Now this demon face coming out, I might try it slightly different. I don't know what to use. I think I'll go for kind of red. I'm thinking of a red. Or maybe a ghostly, more of a ghostly colour. Yeah, more of a ghostly colour. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get my palette out. And we're going to go with a kind of turquoise colour and a Callian green. I think we'll go with that. Yeah. I'm going to thin it down. I keep saying water it down. Thin it down with a bit of contrast medium. Make it, because I want it really, really quite a subtle colour, or else it looks stupid. If this is enough, we'll soon find out. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use some pure medium to kind of get that to take away some of that colour and just spread it into the page as well. Nice. And also there's a little bit coming out here as well. So I can just use that colour as well. There we go. So the plan there is to kind of have a little bit of a, look like something's coming out of the page. Trying to tear itself out of the page. So it's pretty much done. I'm gonna do this dagger. I think it'll be, Howard seems a bit more of a plain character, so I don't think it's going to be ornaments and stuff like that. So we're going to go in with Basilicanum grey for all the metal work. So we're going with the Basilicanum grey now. Oh, and we do have to do the stitching of his head. That's the thing I have forgotten. Okay. So while we got the grey out, we might as well do his base. Starting with the big stone we've got here, he's standing on. Get in there, get in there. Cool. Oh dear. We'll carry on just doing the stone bit first, and then we'll do the kind of cobblestone of the base as normal afterwards. Bit of a mould line issue on there, but again, I'm not too fussed about that. Ooh, a bit over the foot there. Get that way. Okay, let's go on to the base itself. And absolutely no issues with the paint sticking now, which is really nice. We're not far off finishing this miniature. There's another one. I just can't believe how many mages you get. Was it 13 mages as an expansion mages? When you consider the core game has 4. That's just ludicrous, really. And they're all quite unique, which is quite cool. Oh yeah, that was the other thing we played with, was the unique, what do you call it? Asymmetric mage powers as well, which is really cool. And again, something, if people know how to play the game, I would say it's just a must. Just include them in the game you're playing. It makes it so much fun. It makes them so unique. So, you know, I've just been so chuffed with the amount of content and good content that we've got with the expansion material. Absolute quality. Okay, that's the Basilicanum grey finished. Awesome. So let's do that face touch up. So back to my small brush, back to the Wraithbone base. Right, so I've got to try and pick out the detail on these now, which could be quite hard. There's a couple of them there. Is that it? Oh, no, it's crisscross. It's hard to know what's... Get a little bit of, get a bit of flow on that for the water. But again, it's hard to... suppose we could just do that as one, maybe. There we go. Oh, I've just taken all the paint off the base, but never mind. So that's what I'm going to go with for face. Sometimes it's easier to see it on this camera, actually. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure if I'm entirely happy with that. It's quite hard to see the detailing. I mean, it's so clear on here. It's really quite. There's no kind of. But this has got. It's a bit weird. It's got like detailing. I think that's fine. I just don't know if they're supposed to be stitches or just. We'll go with that anyway. So let's get the skeleton horde and do the bits that I went over previously. To give my brush a clean one up. So back with skeleton horde. Okay. It's looking pretty cool. Quite a simple measure. And then I'm just going to hit the skeleton horde again on. There we go. Okay, next we go with the warp lightning for the green. Not a lot of this green going on. Just got a bit on the stone there, doesn't it? Nice, okay. So that's the green of the base done. And finally we've got the flowers. Oh, wowzers. Got the flowers to do. Gotta be careful here. He's looking really good. Absolutely cool. I love that miniature. So good. Right, okay, so red first of all. I just realised I've got wet paint here. Let's just get rid of that one. do a white rose just before that, oops, and then a black rose in here as well. So it's the red done, let's get the white, apothecary white. Do that one rose here. Okay. I'll finish with the black Templar for the black rose. That one. And finally, the black rose. There we go, there's the black roses done. And all that's left to do is the black surrounding of the base. And I've got a Baden black now because I ran out of my acrylics, so I couldn't find the cheap ones. So I'm just going to go in, take him off the base to do this. Let's start with doing one part at a time. And we're just finishing off the top part of the base, top part of the bottom of the base, I suppose you can say. Okay, so it's really starting to come alive now. Let's get a bit of water on this first. Not too much water now. Do the rest of it. Just to finish off the base. Perfect. And Howard is complete. Not too bad at all. I'm not quite sure what the total paint time there is, but it's certainly under 2 hours, I'm sure of it. And what a miniature. He's going to look awesome. So, I hope you enjoyed another painting painting real time, not live, painting real time of Black Rose Wars, the Sator Books expansion. We're doing Howard the Mage this time around. What a fantastic figure, and very easy to paint really in the grand scale of things. yeah, real joy. Wait for them to dry, and then I'll take some photos and I'll make sure I post them up on the social media. So if you enjoyed this and you want to see some more painting of Black Rose Wars, please do subscribe, like, and please do comment on the videos. I do read all of them, and it's really nice to communicate with the community. And as I said before, I've set up a Super Fantasy Brawl League, so you can check Discord or Facebook, and you should see how to enter that league. That'd be cool if we can get quite a few players from different areas of the world involved in that. That'd be fantastic. That's what I'm aiming for. To really just play that super fantastic game. I absolutely love Super Fantasy Brawl. It's a real fun game, and it's completely free on Tabletopia, which is what the online league will be using. So until next time, keep playing.